Welcome. Good morning. This is the final week of the Citi Business Festival, and this week we are talking about Made in Ghana, promoting Made in Ghana goods to spur an inclusive economic growth. Everything we've been doing from the very beginning of June has led us to this moment. For the first week, when we talk about digital economy, we discovered really impressive local brands that are doing well in the technology space. The second week was all about MSMEs, where we discovered businesses that were pushing Ghanaian excellence. The third week, we talked about agribusiness and agriculture, where we learned about businesses that were adding value at every stage of the supply chain to help Ghana finally arrive at an import substitution agenda. Last week, we discovered AFTA and trade and how to prepare for it to take full advantage. Today, we'll be discussing promoting Made in Ghana to spur an inclusive economy. There's been a lot of progress in the space over the years, but unfortunately, Made in Ghana brands still place second place to imported goods. Import data from Ministry of Trade and Industry show that we import millions of dollars worth of products into the country each year. When you look at our cosmetic space, we bring in lotions, soaps, and hair conditioners, shampoos. Meanwhile, we have shea butter in the country. When you look at even juices, we bring in packaged juices in the country when we have fruits that we can turn into those juices. There's so much happening, but the agri-processing space has a lot of potential that we're going to take full advantage of. So today's conversation will be about how to leverage the opportunities out there, what policymakers are doing to help us get ahead so that we can grow our businesses. We've broken it down into three parts. The first part, we'll engage policymakers on what they're doing, solutions they're providing that entrepreneurs can take full advantage of. The second part will be about how to prepare ourselves to qualify for some of the financial services that are out there. Banks like Absa Bank have solutions for us, and we need to position ourselves well to take full advantage of it. And then finally, we'll hear from entrepreneurs who are doing well within the agro-processing space, right? So today, when you go to a restaurant and you buy fresh juice, for instance, chances are you get a Made in Ghana branded fresh juice to drink. That would have been the case a few years ago. If you want to buy chocolate from your family members and friends, you get a wide range of locally branded chocolate bars to gift to them. So that's progress that we're making in the cereal space. If you want to buy cocoa, you want to buy Igbe Bremi, there are people who have packaged it well for you to give to your family members. So it's not all lost. There's a lot of progress that's happening, but we now have to be very intentional about promoting Made in Ghana so that we can finally arrive at an inclusive economy. I'll introduce our guest right after this break, but don't forget that this entire conversation is sponsored by Absa Bank Ghana. We know that you're busy, you're always on the go, but that shouldn't get in the way of you buying that dress that you've seen online or giving that money to your family members. And that's why Absa's digital channels are there for you. Visit www.absa.com.gh to learn all about Absa's digital channels. That's Africanacity, that's Absa. It's also sponsored by IT Consortium. For all of you who are in the e-commerce space, you need IT Consortium to be able to get money from your customers. It's not enough for them to just visit your storefront. They have to pay for your services. And of course, it's also supported by GIPC. We'll go for a quick break and then I'll introduce our guest.
And this is how it connects us.
We believe in helping people find a way to get things done. We call this Africanacity.
Welcome back. It's the Citi Business Festival. We have a lot of you joining us via Zoom. If you have any questions, because today's conversation is very interactive, just hit on this icon and I'll just allow you ask your questions. So just the icon that looks like this, hit on it. If you're on social media, we want to hear from you. Please use the hashtag Citi Business Festival for us to hear from you. And our WhatsApp line is 0550-585832. And we have beautiful made in Ghana products right there that we want you to look at. A lot of top quality brands that you're looking at. We have Share, which is a snack bar. We have the toothpicks there that you can look at. We have raw honey. We have fabric softener that's made in Ghana. Okay, so today's conversation is all about celebrating all things made in Ghana. It's really important that we discover the products that are out there and we go out there and buy. So as I mentioned earlier, we want to hear from you. The hashtag to use is Citi Business Festival. The WhatsApp line is 0550-585832. And if you're outside Ghana and watching us, just use the country code +233 for us to receive your messages. Now I have with me in studio Ramatu Saijima, who's the CEO of Chopbox Express. And get this, last year, she was one of the people on Zoom, and a year later, she's a full-blown CEO in the food processing space. Good morning, Farmer.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
How are you? How are you doing?
I'm great.
How's business been?
It's been great. It's been an interesting journey, I must say. Starting. The fact that I had to, quit my job to start Chopbox Express alone, they were quite bold decisions I had to make. And so for me, it's been a great journey, looking at how far we've gotten to. Yeah. So thank you for having me.
We'll hear more about Chopbox later.
Sure,
we also have with us Grace Enin Yeboah, who is the head of business banking at Absa Bank, Ghana. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, my dear. I am excellent by God's grace, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Now, when you think of made in Ghana from where you sit, what comes to mind, and what would it take for us to really get ahead?
What comes to mind when I think of made in Ghana is the fact that it's our future. This nation is ours to make, and there is so much opportunity in this country. If we start with the food sector alone, through the agribusiness value chain, from basic crop production through to value addition, through to final packaging and all that, there's opportunity. And then you come to other manufacturing. So I think we just need to be intentional about what we want to do to change the narrative for made in Ghana. And I'm very excited about this conversation because it's conversations like this that will drive the impetus and create a lot more energy, a lot more debate, and a lot more investment into the local economy to help us thrive as a nation.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
I also have with me Lloyd Ashile, who's the GM of Niche Cocoa. He's joining us via Zoom. Good morning, Lloyd.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome.
We'll hear all about Niche later. I like the background, by the way. I love your background. If you could just briefly tell us about Niche Cocoa and how long you've been around.
As a cocoa production facility, we have been around for 14 years. We process cocoa from which was to 4 finished products: the cocoa liquor, the cocoa butter, the cocoa cake, the cocoa powder, and for the finished products, we maintain our corporate on the market.
Thank you so much, and we'll learn all about it later on. They're doing really great work when it comes to adding value in the agric space. It doesn't get better than Niche Cocoa, and as you see, you've heard him say it's not just chocolate that they're making. They're making so many products just out of that cocoa bean, and I know a lot of entrepreneurs are listening, trying to find out creative things to make out of the raw materials we have in this country, so he'll shed light on everything that they've done there. We now have two policymakers who are on the line with us as well. I'll start with Madame Kosi Yankee. She's the CEO of Ghana Enterprise Agency. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
And we will now go to the final policymaker that we have, Mr. Robert Ahomka Lindsay. He's a former Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry. Good morning, Mr. Lindsay.
Good morning, and good to be with you. And it's not that I don't want you to see me, but the background is a little crazy here, so just look at the picture for today, if you don't mind.
It's okay. That's fine. So I'll start with you, since you volunteered yourself to not be in the video. Well, we talk about made in Ghana goods, right?
Yes. Yes.
How far have we come as a nation from the work that you've done? What did you observe? And what more work do we need to do to get to a point where we can say locally made brands are dominating the market? Because the truth of the matter is, we're doing well. You know, the research firm Confidence actually confirmed that when you look at the agri-processing space, when it comes to quality, made in Ghana brands stand toe-to-toe with foreign brands. When it comes to price points, we are competitive. Even when it comes to packaging, we are closing that gap. But for some reason, we are still under 30% when you visit the top supermarkets. When you go outside, Ghanaian customers still prefer the imported goods. So from your experience, what would it take for us to really get ahead?
With you here on Citi today, and sorry I'm not with you in the studio. Let me come at this from two angles, if I may. First of all, in terms of from the policy perspective, and then secondly, I'll come at it in terms of as we're going forward, what it is that I believe we should have greater concentration on in going forward. Let me start first with the policy perspective. You know, I think it's clear that over the decades, governments have found different ways to ensure that the private sector takes center stage and look to ensure that we develop our own manufacturing capacity to meet our demand and above that to export. So I want to just spend a little time on four recent initiatives. I know there's more to come, but four recent initiatives that I believe are absolutely paramount if we are to get to where we need to get to. And then I will end up by coming to your question as to why it is we are where we are. Let me start first of all with the government policy. You know, any business person will tell you that if they don't have predictability in their planning, you cannot do anything. You can't plan, you can't do anything. So it starts off with government ensuring that it has a robust and reliable and predictable macro and economic policies. You need to be able to predict what's going to happen next year, the year after that, and the year after that. Why? Because your investment decisions are not 6 months or 3 months based. They are 3 to 5 years. So if you're in a situation where the macro and micro economic situation is completely volatile, unpredictable, you are basically starting to lose. You will lose in terms of where we're going. So that's the first area. And I think over the years we've got better, but if the truth be said, we've had too much fluctuation and too much unpredictability that our businesses have suffered. Today, as we're going forward over the past 5, 6, 7 years, particularly over the past 4 years, if I'm being honest, we are beginning to get to grips with this. COVID hasn't helped, but that is a direction we must go to. The second area is what I will call business regulatory processes. Let me explain that. Businesses face all sorts of tests, all sorts of regulatory requirements, things they must meet in order to be able to get their products to the marketplace. And the truth, again, is that often we find bureaucracy and out-of-date policies and regulation that instead of supporting, hamper businesses' ability to engage. This is so important because if I have to get a particular certificate or particular approval from X agency, and the process is so complicated, so convoluted, and frankly, I get so tired that I give up, then I lose, the country loses, and the business loses. So it is so important that the business regulations are reviewed and brought up to date, up to speed to meet the requirements of today. Regulations that we had 10 years ago, to be honest with you, today are ineffective, especially in such a fast-changing world as we live in today. So the bureaucracy element and the business regulatory review that I know government has embarked on is key. There's another reason for this regulatory review being so important. The fundamental reality is that we do not have enough Ghanaian entrants, participants, entrepreneurs currently in our mix. So we need to attract new entrants. I repeat, we need to attract new businesses into the space. You mentioned that the CEO lady who last year was listening today, she's a CEO. We need literally hundreds of such people because we don't have enough players in the marketplace to be able to get to the heights of where we need to get to. The third area I want to talk about briefly is the fiscal policies to encourage, again, active investment. So here are things like what we do in terms of customs, what we do to ensure that there is fair competition, there is not dumping of products outside Ghana into Ghana that make our businesses uncompetitive. Now, these may sound minor, but I can assure you, speak to those businesses, these are key. So the fiscal policies that government focus, what duties they put on to equalize, if you will, to make sure there's a fair playing field is a key aspect of where we are. And the fourth policy that I really want to come to, which I believe could be one of the most important policies that we've ever had in our 60 plus years of independence, is the one district, one factory, which is designed to ensure we add value and create more industrial businesses in Ghana. This is key, whether it's also through interest subsidies, dues exemptions, 5-year corporate tax free. I know you have COSI, Mrs. Yankee, who is the CEO of Ghana, will talk about that, and also the 100 million development plan, so I won't go on that. But I want to quickly go on to your second point. You know, there's an area that I really, really want to encourage Ghanaians to look at today. You know, often when we come on these programs, we focus on, and nothing wrong with it, cocoa derivatives, and one or two other areas. And we talk at a very high level. Well, today I would like to really encourage Ghanaians to look at what is called fast-moving consumer goods. This is critical. These are goods that are sold quickly at relatively low cost. Examples are household goods such as packaged foods, beverages, toiletries, candies, cosmetics, over-the-counter drugs, and other consumables. Let me give you some examples that will shock you when I talk about consumer goods coming to the country. Do you know that in 2020, we know the rise of this world, but I'm going to talk about a couple of other areas as well. Do you know that we imported over 350 million Ghana cedis of meat into Ghana, and edible offal? Do you know that we imported over nearly 300 million Ghana cedis of clothes into Ghana? Do you know that last year, we imported over 242 million non-soap surface agents, washing powder, etc. Do you know that in the milk and concentrated sweeteners, we imported over 220 million? Cereals, 211 million. Let me give you other examples. Water, including minerals and added sugar, 140 million Ghana cedis. Tomato, prepared, 130 million Ghana cedis. Let's remember something, and this is economic 101. Please forgive me. Revenue is a function of both the price of the product you sell and the velocity, i.e. the number of times you sell it. If I sell one product once every 5 years and I make $1 million on it, that's great, but what do I do next week? Fast-moving consumer goods are designed because we use it every day. They're designed to ensure that the products are sold to retailers, to end consumers. The goal is to sell as many products to as many consumers as possible. In Ghana, we are expert retailers. Expert. We stand second to none around the world. Our challenge is that we retail products that are manufactured outside our border. So if we can turn a greater focus on the fast-moving consumer good, just go into Makola or KJTia, anywhere in the marketplace and see, even our supermarkets, where you tend to find fast-moving consumer goods. Look at the origins of them. That becomes the challenge. You asked the question, just to come in, why is it that we may be price competitive and we are often, we should be in a position where we have greater heights? Well, there's a couple of areas I want to bring forward. First of all, one is reliability. So we need to make sure, yes, we're getting better. We need to make sure that when we say we can produce juice, 10 cartons every day, we get it every day. That means a review of our value chain, including making sure we have enough pineapple for apple juice to engage with. That is the other one aspect. The other area that I think we need to grow on is our range of goods that are available. I love cocoa, please don't get me wrong, we should encourage that. But I would really encourage Ghanaian manufacturers to look at other fast-moving consumer goods that every year we import hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm not talking 10 or 10, hundreds of millions of dollars into our country. If you look at the top 500 companies, richest companies in the world, you'll be shocked how many of them are fast-moving consumer goods. Entry level is also more competitive. Let me rest there, and maybe we can get into more greater detail as we go.
Yes, yes, that's perfect. And I'm glad that you started with fast-moving consumable goods, because my follow-up questions are surrounded around that. And viewers, we want to hear from you. So if you have any questions for Mr. Kalinzi, please use the hashtag Citi Business Festival. The WhatsApp line is 0550-585832. And if you are on Zoom, just click on that icon, because I want this conversation to be very interactive. There are a lot of entrepreneurs watching and they want to take notes. So, Mr. Lindsay, my first question to you is, when you talk about fast-moving consumable goods, outside of Ghana, we have farmers who specialize in commercial farming, right? These are the people that our entrepreneurs are competing with. On the farm, they are commercial farmers. They have machines to actually turn their products into finished goods within a matter of hours. Wherever they find themselves, that country prioritizes products that are produced there. They've succeeded in letting the consumers think that if it's made in America, for instance, it's premium. Never mind that it's probably not that great, but they've embedded it into the minds of their consumers. So all the way to the farm, they are competing with our farmers who are not commercial farmers. When you come to processing, they have machinery. Sometimes their governments subsidize them getting access to these machines so that they can manufacture those products locally. Our entrepreneurs don't have that. Warehouses to store the products so they don't go bad. We don't have that. Food waste is a very big problem in this country. Now, when it comes to access to supermarkets, a lot of entrepreneurs will tell you it takes them months to get some of these supermarkets to allow them even place their products on their store shelves. This is after they have FDA certification, after they've gotten everything they need. It sounds as though the supermarkets still prefer the imported goods to the local brands. And then finally, when the product is on the market, getting the Ghanaian consumer themselves to even place premium on buying made in Ghana goods is an issue. So at Ministry of Trade and Industry, you were in charge of industry. What were some of the things that you were able to do to solve some of these problems you've mentioned as far as prioritizing fast-moving consumable goods?
Okay, thank you for that, Jifa. That is about a question I think we could spend the next 3 days discussing, but I will try and go into in greater detail. You start, first of all, and I think you made a very valid point, is that there is a difference, fundamental difference between agriculture for consumption, subsistence plus, if you want to call it that, and agriculture for industry. Just speak to any of the major producers. If I have to buy pineapple to process into juice, the tonnage that I need will baffle you. I want to give a small example, which goes back to a commander sugar. If you added all the cane sugar in Western and Central regions, added it all together and gave it to commander sugar, it would have run the factory for less than 2 weeks. That tells you the difference. Yet you will find times that cane sugar is going rotten. So what is it that is engaging? What is it that policy directive needs to do? And what is it the market needs to engage with? I'm going to come at it in terms of the both the consumer, then I'll come on to the policy. In terms of the consumer, at the end of the day, I believe the Ghanaian consumers, when offered a viable option of made in Ghana, will buy made in Ghana. I said, when offered a viable option. The question is, what is a viable option? Because at the end of the day, government cannot force anybody to say, you must eat Ghanaian rice. We can't do that. That's not the world we live in. And nobody should be looking to government to do that. However, look at the program that you yourself, Citi and others, and I know the president came and others came in when we started talking about eat made in Ghana rice. there wasn't enough rice. So it tells you that when we provide that viable option, Ghanaians will make that choice. Now, what is a viable option? I think this is where it comes in, where it comes to packaging, reliability, the variety, that all comes in. What can government do? Government can ensure that we provide the incentives. And I think this is, again, is a lesson of history. Governments are no good at manufacturing. Governments are no good at marketing companies. This is not what government's core competencies are. Government's role is to provide the environment, predictability, incentive for businesses to grow. And as I said, I come back to it again. The fact that 1D1F got over 80 plus companies finished manufacturing, 200 plus in various stages, is a testament to what was happening. But it's a journey. We have not completed it yet. And so that becomes a key aspect. Warehousing, look at the warehousing program that was being followed. We talked about machinery in terms of our Ministry of Agriculture, a much better place to do that than I am. But the programs the Minister of Agriculture followed to try and engage became a key opportunities. Let me come on to the question of access, because I think this is an area that we often misunderstand. Access to the marketplace, government can make a decision. So government can start putting laws in place that state that, okay, if you're in a supermarket, X percentage of the shelf must be made in Ghana. That is a role government could play. I accept that. But there's an even stronger role. If Ghanaian consumers go into, as I have done, I remember going into one supermarket, I won't mention the name, and I asked about a juice. And the only juice I could see, they were all foreign. And I didn't buy it. I left and went to another place to buy it. When we vote with our feet and money, that makes a difference. And so when we talk about what it is that we can do for Made in Ghana, every one of us should make it a point that 50 pesos out of every cedi that we spend on fast-moving consumer goods, we should spend it on Made in Ghana products. You will see how quickly that will change the profile, and it will make life, the demand side, is so much more attractive for the manufacturers in Ghana. It is a two-way process. Both have to play. But let me also state one thing. This is not a sprint. This is not a 100-meter sprint. Trying to get to this position is a marathon. So steps must be celebrated, and we must go from one or the other. That is why I have suggested so much more the fast-moving consumer goods, because it's my honest opinion. This is one of the most attractive entry points for most Ghanaians to engage in.
Correction on the rice. The farmers actually had more than enough rice, and entrepreneurs like Nana's Rice also had more than enough rice. It's just that the farmers' concern was more access to market. And if Nana is on the line with us, he can even share his personal experience with the rice situation, because there are people who can actually meet the demand. It's just a matter of getting access to more supermarkets, getting access to market, which is where we hope they'll get more support from. But this is still the Citi Business Festival. We're discussing Made in Ghana goods, promoting Made in Ghana goods to spur an inclusive economic growth. We want to hear from you, so please use the hashtag Citi Business Festival for us to hear from you. Our WhatsApp line is 0550-585832. The entire Citi Business Festival has been sponsored by Absa Bank Ghana. We know that you're busy, you're always on the go, but that shouldn't get in the way of you being able to buy that beautiful dress you've been eyeing, or send that money to your family member who's been worrying you. Check out Absa's digital channels. They make it easy for you to do that with just a click of a button. Go onto their website, www.absa.com.gh, to learn all about their digital channels. That's Africanacity, that's Absa, and of course, it's supported by IT Consortium and GIPC. We'll be right back.
And this is how it connects us.
私たちをつなぐ。
We
been helping people find a way to get things done. We call this Africanacity.
Logo the bottom. Where you say 80 local channels na mo hedo. And so pictures here clear. E 5 times better. As the other channels that go be show hormone. So the mention mon tram rack why. Oh, what the pictures.
Who knows tomorrow?
What a picture. What you AD plus decoder or multi TV and now electroland agent PR. Natural local channels now HD the here so better.
Star 879 hash.
Numbers from people box and now the advert 80 channels now. Look at
Get an HD Plus decoder from now till the 9th of August for just $89.99 Ghana cedis and enjoy 3 months free subscription. Enjoy all the excitement and live sports action in the HD Plus Air Bosso Fili promo. Promo lasts from 7th June to 9th August 2021. Visit hd-plus.com.gh or call 024-243-9872 for more info.
Half a nose for good things.
Welcome back. It's the Citi Business Festival. Thank you so much for staying with us. It's our last week, and today's topic is on promoting Made in Ghana to spur inclusive economic growth. We want to hear from you as we are discussing this topic. The hashtag to use is Citi Business Festival, and the WhatsApp line is 0550-585832. And it's very interactive, so just ask your questions as we go. Don't wait till the end. I'm now going to engage the CEO of the Ghana Enterprise Agency, Madam Kosi Yankee, on what they've been doing to really support small and medium-sized businesses. Good morning, Kosi. Kosi, are you with us?
Good morning. Yes, I'm here.
Awesome. Please tell us a bit about the Ghana Enterprise Agency. A lot of us are used to MBSSI, but tell us about the Ghana Enterprise Agency.
Sure, and I'll tie it into what Honorable Ahukalensi was talking about. I think government has been doing a lot, and one of the things that government did the past 4 years was to design and actually develop the National Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise and Entrepreneurship Policy. And that was really the foundation to design and actually set up this new agency, which is the Ghana Enterprises Agency. And the reason was that we needed a roadmap or a policy to support the work we're doing in the sector. Since independence, there's never been any policy that gives a clear direction as to what it is that we need to do to support the sector, to support MSMEs. And it was very important since they make up actually up to 80% of the economy and they are the backbone of the economy. So the policy was designed, and one of the recommendations was to transform the National Board for Small-Scale Industries into Ghana Enterprises Agency, because what had set up the NPSSI at that time was outmoded. And the way we did things and the way MSMEs were growing and developing and what we needed to do to support them, all in alignment with government's policies on one district, one factory, was not really strong in the previous act. And so a new one was done. So this act really, and this new agency, is to provide direction, to coordinate and really support the MSMEs in the sector. And I must say that in the past 4 years since we started working on this, a lot has been done in the sector in terms of capacity development, in terms of really leveraging funding to support businesses across the nation, the highest in its level since it was set up. I think that it's also important to note when you talk about Made in Ghana goods and what is happening in the sector, that we've been able to work very closely with Food and Drugs Authority to see how we could support with certification for MSMs. And within less than a year, we had about 400 plus businesses that had received certification and could now even sell their products in supermarkets, in the markets, or even export them.
Kosi, are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we heard you. So you were at FDA and what you're doing to help businesses solve that problem quickly, because I think Honorable Lindsay mentioned earlier about the bottlenecks and the bureaucracies that may deter some businesses from going after those channels. So my next question for you is what the agency has been able to do to specifically help made in Ghana businesses get a head start. That's businesses that are not just bringing in products and packaging it here, but sourcing their raw materials locally, processing it locally, packaging it locally, and distributing it as well.
Actually, we are their number one advocate, and everything we do is centered around production and increasing productivity in that sector. And so, yes, we've been doing a whole lot to support them, those in agribusiness, even the services sector, a whole lot. Like, there's so much happening within the sector to support businesses. And the Ghana Enterprises Agency has been doing a lot. As I mentioned, we have worked with FDA in terms of the certification to support the businesses that we work with. The businesses know, even in terms of access to finance, the government has put in place new initiatives, and even under Ghana Enterprises Agency, there's a fund that is going to be set up to support them, because we realized that the access to funding for them to improve the quality of their products were very important. And so when you talk about how do people get their products onto the shelves in Ghana, yes, they might have the raw materials, or that people have access to the raw materials. But what is the quality of those raw materials? How do you improve quality? Do you need access to finance? Do you need access to technology? And we provide that kind of support to them as well. We've been able to support some with technology support across the nation to be able to help them also get into improving their products, and beyond improving the products, also improving the quality of the packaging that they have to support them to be able to get onto the shelves for them made in Ghana to go out. So we've been working a lot on that. I think the Ministry of Trade and Industry, where the agency sits, has a domestic market even group team. And the team focuses on working with us at NBSSI to see how the SMEs can market their products. We do a lot of marketing programs. We do a lot of fairs to be able to highlight the work that Made in Ghana looks like. We've also seen that there are some challenges to the quality of a lot of these products. And as an agency, we've been able to come in and bring in partners who support beneficiaries to ensure that the quality of their products are up to standard. It might not happen in a day, but gradually we provide that needed support for them so that Made in Ghana products can also come to the fore and have the best or the first choice that people have to make when they get into a market.
Thank you very much, Kosi. And as I mentioned earlier to our viewers, we're going to break this conversation up into three parts. The first part, we're engaging policymakers. So that's Honorable Kalinsi speaking on his experience at the Ministry of Trade and Industry. Now we're talking to Madam Kosi Yankee, who formerly headed NBSSI. Now it is called the Ghana Enterprise Agency. So if you have any questions for them, we want you to ask them now. If you're on Zoom, just click on the icon that looks like this, and then you'll be able to ask them the questions directly. We know that there are a lot of entrepreneurs who are participating. So if you have any questions for the two of them, please let us know. We'll wrap up with them shortly. So it's really important that we ask them all the questions that we have. If you are joining us on social media, the hashtag to use is Citi Business Festival, okay? And our WhatsApp line is 0550 585832. So, Kosi, my next question to you is, walk us through some of the specific programs that you have, because I've met entrepreneurs who tell me that they just had 300 to 500 cities. NBSSI really helped them even get their FDA certification to a point where now they are able to get access to market. I've also met other entrepreneurs who say that the process was a bit difficult. They didn't know their way around. They didn't know which programs to apply for, be it the one with the MasterCard, the one with the young people. So if you can break down some of the services and solutions that your agency has to offer, we would appreciate it.
Okay, great. So first of all, I just want to say that I'm grateful that people are acknowledging some of government's interventions, as we've mentioned, that there's a lot happening in the space. One, there was the Coronavirus Alleviation Program Business Support Scheme that, as I mentioned, provided the largest funding ever to the micro, small, and medium enterprise sector. So that was one component. Then we had the MasterCard and Koswo Fund as well. That was also to support businesses during the COVID alleviation time, during COVID, to support the businesses. We also had at the same time, or we currently have, the MasterCard programs, which is under the Young Africa Works. One of the components is the MBA, which is the businesses that need support, like women-owned businesses and some men-owned businesses, but really more women-owned businesses, the MSMEs. And how do we provide them with support? So we provide them with how to improve their productivity, how to access finance, how to actually get the regulatory support that we're talking about, where we've been able to get a lot of people to align with Food and Drugs Authority. The other thing we don't even realize is that if you go to our shelves lately in a lot of these big supermarkets, you realize they have a Made in Ghana, a whole section, and it's really an intentional effort to make sure that Made in Ghana products get on the shelves. And this is really a big initiative by Food and Drugs Authority. It's a government push as well, where they are pushing some of these supermarkets to ensure that Made in Ghana products come to the limelight. And it's all part of the MBA programs that we are working with in partnership with other government agencies. We also have what we call the apprenticeship to entrepreneurship, which is the youth who might have come out of vocational school or who have a skill or a trade that they've been working on and need support to grow that business. And we come in and we provide them with support and training to be able to move them to the next level. We also have training for businesses that have just started, who need to be able to innovate or really reiterate what they've been able to innovate, which is the ICE component under the MasterCard program we have. We also have other government interventions under the Ghana Economic Transformation Project, where we are looking at providing support to businesses that were set up before the COVID era in this first window that we've opened. And so ensuring that SMEs, the small, medium enterprises, are able to access some form of funding. And so they can go on the portal and apply to be able to access some of these funding. And then there's also the support we have, which is a 360 diagnostic support. So it's not only funding. The Ghana Enterprises Agency was set up not to provide funding alone, but to provide a total support to MSMEs in Ghana. And so some of the things we do is the capacity development programs to ensure that businesses are growing. If your business has started and you have certain challenges, we can come in and provide the Kaizen support in partnership with the Japanese. It's something we've been doing for the past 4 years now as well, and we've extended it for the next 5 years to provide that support. And so there's a lot that happens. And as people are either part of the network of the Ghana Enterprises Agency, then they are informed of some of the programs that come up, so they can choose to attend or choose to be a part of it.
Cosmetics on Zoom. And to our Zoom audience, if you have any questions, please click on that icon and I'll mention your name to ask your question directly. So Enam, please go ahead.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Enam.
So my question is, one of the major hurdles that Made in Ghana product manufacturers face is access to the marketplace. As one of the speakers mentioned, I've also had challenges going into a supermarket looking for Made in Ghana beverage, and all I see is the foreign beverages. So does the government have any plans for specific policies to encourage these supermarkets, pharmacies, to have a certain minimum percentage of Made in Ghana products on their shelves, for example? Thank you.
Thank you, Enam. Okay, so Kosi, I'm not sure if you want to handle this or if Honorable Hamka Lindsay wants to handle it. But
sorry, Jifa, we didn't hear her. So maybe you can repeat the question.
Yes, so the question is there a policy to demand that some of these supermarkets should take a certain percentage, because it's great that they have a small section there for made in Ghana goods, right? But can we expand that from the current 26% to perhaps 40 to 50%? Because as it stands now, the quality we can compete with, the price points we can compete with, the packaging we can compete with, but somehow it looks like if I'm producing locally and I present my moringa tea, for instance, and Grace brings the moringa tea from abroad and tries to get into the supermarket, it will be easier for her to do it than for me to get my products onto the supermarket shelves.
So let me, Kosi, let me try and see if I can make some input on here. First of all, I want to start by saying, if you look at our Ghanaian market, sorry, I didn't hear the lady that asked the question.
Enam Cosmetics. She'll tell us all about her business later.
Yeah, Enam, you're looking at your market. What percentage of Ghanaians shop in supermarkets? I think that's the first thing we need to ask ourselves, because the vast majority of Ghanaians, the 30 plus million Ghanaians, do not shop in supermarkets. They shop at our key markets around the country. So I think that your go-to-market strategy, I'm happy to talk offline to try and help you if that's necessary. You may need to look at that. So, but it sounds like perhaps your product is targeting the upper middle classes that tends to buy products maybe from the supermarket, where, yes, I understand, because I know in some countries there are laws that stipulate that X percentage of products must be in our marketplace. We don't have that yet in Ghana. But I would also flip that and say that, at the end of the day, consumers vote with their money. And yes, I understand there are both push factors and pull factors. The push factor could be, we say, or the government says that 50% of all products supermarkets must be made in Ghana. But I would argue that the stronger factor from a market perspective is the pull, which is we're looking at opportunities for engaging the consumer, the Ghanaian consumer, to say, I will buy made in Ghana products. If I go to the supermarket, if I go to any market, not just supermarket, and I find that it's not there, I will go somewhere else. To that extent, then that's where you as an entrepreneur can use different go-to-market mechanisms. Today, and especially the target market, if you're focused supermarket, have access to mobile apps. You can sell directly to them without going through any supermarket, which changes your go-to-market strategy as well. So I can understand, often people say, well, go tell the supermarket that says you must have X percentage. But I believe that the opportunities are greater than that. Not to say we shouldn't have that discussion, but I wouldn't let that be a barrier to your business growing. I don't know if Kosi wants to add anything to that. That was my input to that business.
Okay, I will still come back to Enam's thing, because I think when we have to compete with companies that are coming outside the country and they have economies of scale on their side and they can afford to charge a certain amount and our businesses can't afford it because cost of production is high, government must step in. But I'll let you answer that. I want to hear from Edward as well. Edward, please go ahead. Hi, Edward. Good morning.
Yeah, I think you made my question simple as you were talking about the cost of production. Yes, and I wanted to continue with what Enam was saying. And I appreciate what the minister was saying. Yes, but when you go to our supermarkets, the locally produced goods sometimes are not able to compete in terms of price with the imported goods. So I think the government has a policy to make to put some percentage that the supermarket should the locally produced goods should be sold. There should be a higher percentage for Ghanaians. And I quite remember I was in Nigeria sometime, and when you get to the supermarket, you will not be able to buy or afford the foreign rice because the price of the foreign rice is expensive. The locally produced rice were way cheaper. So at the end, when you enter the supermarket, you are discouraged from buying the imported rice, but to buy the locally made rice. So I think there's a way the government can help the local entrepreneurs where they will be able to produce and we the consumers, we are rational. When we get to the supermarket, we'll be able to, see that, okay, fine, the imported goods are expensive, and we'll be pushed to buy the locally produced goods. So that's what the question I'm asking, whether there's a policy in the future to help promote this one, to help the local entrepreneurs.
Yes, so just to add on to Edward's question, and this one may be for you, Kosi, because you're doing so much work to help the entrepreneur from the point of ideation to they have the finished product to the market. When you go to some supermarkets in Nigeria, for instance, you see made in Nigeria on the top shelves. Let's say it's a South African supermarket. Made in Nigeria brands will be on the top shelves. Made in South Africa will be on the middle shelf, and then all other imported products will be on the bottom shelf, right? So as a consumer, when you walk into these supermarkets, the first thing you look at is the top shelf, and it's positioned nicely. We don't have that yet. What would it take for us to get to a point where we are prioritizing, promoting made in Ghana goods as far as the consumer is also concerned in the supermarkets and also our other markets in the informal sector even?
So thanks for the question. But I think one of the things that I want to be controversial about is because there's a policy doesn't mean we're not prioritizing it. Mm-hmm. And so we pick our words based on what it is that we're trying to promote and push. Mm-hmm. It's not about not prioritizing made in Ghana goods, right? And I think that the Honorable Deputy Minister mentioned a lot of times. He said people vote with their feet and their hands and their cash. So you put it on the markets, right? And people go to the shops, and I see it. And every time I walk into a shop, the first thing I do is to walk into the Made in Ghana section. And you realize that in all the shops now, there are Made in Ghana sections. A lot of them, a lot of the big ones. You go to Palace, you go to Kuala, they have Made in Ghana sections. The thing is, how do we get more businesses to be ready to get there? And the policy that has been designed is not only please take them in the shops because they are made in Ghana. The policy is a national MSME policy that goes to the grassroots, to the roots of the problem, which is how do we help the Ghanaian businesses even get the certification? Now, when you go into ShopRite and you want to put your products in, they want to see your certification, make sure you have GRA, you make sure you have all these things. So how do we build businesses that are strong enough? How do we support these businesses so that they would start, even if it's not, they are not $1 million companies or million city companies or tal. Help them gradually to put their books in order, right? And plan with them to be able to put their products on the shelf. So there's a lot of prioritization, but the prioritization does not mean having a shelf, because we can push all the shops to give us a shelf, and there might not be enough products to get there. And there might not be enough supply when the demand goes high. And so you see that a lot of those shops. So we need to work from the ground up. And that's what this policy does. And that's what the Ghana Enterprises Agency would work very closely with the Ghanaian enterprises to ensure that, yes, we are, and we always prioritize them. And that's why even this new act and new bill came to pass, because we want from the ground up to build these businesses so that they access the markets, so that they are able to have good quality and sustainable supply once they hit the shops.
So let me repeat why I use the word priority, because I admit what the Honorable is saying about people making decisions to buy. If you don't have a made in Ghana product, you go to a different supermarket. But we find ourselves in a market where consumers make decisions based on price points. And if our made in Ghana products are competing with foreign brands that are cheaper because we can't put tariffs on their products, it provides another roadblock that they have to overcome. So again, the question is, what do we do to make made in Ghana products a bit more competitive when they have to compete? And these are products like Nana Rice, who has done everything. His packaging is great. There are so many brands out there who have already figured out how to be competitive, but they're still struggling to get access to market. What more can we do to help those brands?
So, Jifa, let me maybe step in here also to support what the CEO has been mentioning. You see, I think it's careful that we separate some of these discussions. So the first looks at, you can talk about uncompetitive practices in terms of imported goods, and you can also talk about ensuring that we give opportunities for Ghanaian manufacturers to be competitive. Then there's a separate question, which is about go-to-market, how you take your products to market. You see, and I think it's very important we address those separately. Let me talk first about the second point, which is trying to give Ghanaian entrepreneurs, businesses, the ability to be more competitive. If you look at the 1D, 1F program, you've got a number of specific interventions there. 1, corporate tax-free holiday for 5 years. 2, all of your inputs, key inputs such as machinery and raw materials are duty exempt. 3, interest rate subsidy. These are practical government interventions to support. Kosi has also mentioned the fact that there is a fund within the new Ghana Enterprise Agency looking at to address one of the key challenges of businesses, access to finance. The other is quality. She's already mentioned what FDA is engaged in. That looks at the competitive end. Now, let me talk about the first, which is uncompetitive practices that people are dumping. I mean, I think that's what that is coming to. If you feel people are dumping products onto our marketplace at below cost, that is why we have a specific agency under the Ministry of Trade and Industry, which has been set up, and it just escapes me for a minute. But the ability for businesses to be able to go to them and get them to be able to say, okay, 1, they are dumping products, and I know 2 or 3 companies have already done that at uncompetitive prices. That is one area of that where you feel these are coming in. The third is about route to market. We need to be very careful that we don't make this whole discussion about supermarkets, because what percentage of our products are sold in supermarkets? Jifa, what percentage of fast-moving consumer goods are sold in supermarkets?
It's actually 26% of the local products that are in the supermarkets.
Very good.
Yeah.
So if we are talking about, let us not let the tail wag the dog in terms of where we are not yet in the where I am currently, where most of the products, consumer goods, are sold to. The vast majority of our consumer goods are sold through markets, mom and pop shops all around the country. Those are the low-hanging fruits for our entrepreneurs to be able to penetrate. It's not to say we're not interested in the 26%, but I think it's important for us to remember that the vast majority of all our FMCG is sold in market like KJT, mom and pop shop, up and down. And that is where our opportunity for route to market. You mentioned something about rice, and you said that he has a product, but he can't get to market. See, that is a different challenge. If he physically cannot get his product into the shelf space of a mom and pop shop, that is a different challenge. It's not a challenge about I can't manufacture, or I haven't got the supply, or I haven't got the quality. So I think this is where we must be very careful, and I believe the likes of the Enterprise Agency, FDA, and others, the Ministry of Trade and Industry, can help these businesses have a better strategy of getting their products to market. But I think sometimes we put that all together, we are at risk of not addressing the core challenge engaged. But I think that against each one of these, we have to have a specific policy to encourage it. But I repeat, at the end of the day, I really believe, and it's something that more and more I get to look at this and become more and more convinced about. If Ghanaians decide they will spend their money on made in Ghana products, I can assure you the shelves will change to meet their requirement. Every shelf, not just supermarket, but mom and pop shops, every shelf will change to meet their requirements. Our role from the public sector, if I can put it that way, is to ensure that we give those businesses all the skill sets, the incentives, and if necessary, the protection. I use the protection in terms of dumping, not in terms of we're going to close Ghana to any imported products. That is not a sustainable policy. But protect in terms of people not having product dumped on them, so that they become uncompetitive, not through their own product, through their own practices. I think those become key.
Thank you very much. Honorable Kalensi is the Deputy Minister of State, for Minister of Trade and Industry. He was in charge of industry. And I have a question for you, Kosi from Selasi. We know that you both have to go. We thank you so much for your time. But Selasi says, what support does the GEA have for e-commerce retail businesses? So if you can tie that into your closing remark, we would really appreciate it, Kosi. Kosi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I think that over the past year, it's become very clear that e-commerce is the way to go. COVID hit, people stayed at home, the way we do things changed completely, and so we needed to evolve. So for support for e-commerce, one of the things we did was to bring more of our clients or more of the people we serve, the MSMs, to find ways of selling their products. So we partnered with e-commerce firms and e-commerce businesses so they could do that and open a new avenue for access to markets for them. As we talk about access to markets, more and more people are not selling in shops or on shelves. They're selling online. They're selling on Instagram. They're selling on
Facebook.
On Facebook. So as much as possible, the market is open. It's become a level playing field. It's become larger than we ever thought it would be. And now the e-commerce partners are one of the best partners you can have. So we've been working with them. The other thing is we went into a partnership with the German Development Agency, where we're working with them to digitalize businesses. We did a pilot for 500 MSMEs, and what we did with them was how do they access markets using the various tools? How do they change the way they communicate using digitalization? And so we had partners such as e-commerce firms who would come in and work with us so we could onboard some of these MSMEs so they could sell their products. We had other software to help them do their financing and their accounting to build their businesses and strengthen them so they can access more funding. We also supported some of them to go use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram to sell their products. How do they sell the products online? How do they get the needed access to finance? Or even what is the financial tools you use if you're selling besides Momo or other things? So these are all the things we're doing as the National Board formerly the National Board for Responsible Industries, Enterprises. Sorry, I keep saying that.
It's fine. We will all keep making that mistake.
So the Ghana Enterprises Agency is doing to ensure that the businesses, Ghanaian businesses, are online.
Yeah.
They have the markets, they're technology savvy and can build their businesses and move them forward.
Nice. So Selassie is actually the CEO of the Delcy shop. So I'm sure she'll be in touch with, I want to say NBSSI, but I'm not going to say that. She'll be in touch with the Ghana Enterprise Agency to figure out how to serve the Ghanaian market. Thank you so much, Kosi, for being with us. Kosi Yankee is the CEO of the Ghana Enterprise Agency. Go onto their website if you're an entrepreneur listening to us right now. They have so many things for you to help you really get your business from the stage of ideation to when you're in front of the customer. So it's really important. And of course, Honorable Robert Armkalensi is the former Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And thank you at home for staying. I mentioned that we'll continue on with the conversation. So next, we are going to worry Grace about positioning our business well for financing. Okay, banks like Absa Ghana are there for you and I to really get a competitive edge, but we have to know about all that are available, all the services that are available so that we can grow our businesses. Again, it's an interactive conversation, so please use the hashtag Citi Business Festival for us to hear from you. The WhatsApp line is 0550-585832. We also have two entrepreneurs in the house who are going to share the experiences with us. They are killing it in the agro-processing space, so we have a lot to learn from them. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
And this is how it connects us.
私たちをつなぐ
We believe in helping people find a way to get things done. We call this Africanacity.
Welcome back. It's the Citi Business Festival. It's our final week. We're looking at Made in Ghana goods. How do we intentionally promote Made in Ghana goods to spur an inclusive economic growth in the country? It's really, really important. We need to get Made in Ghana products to a point where they dominate every single corner that you go to in the country. That's the only way that we'll make a lot of money to create jobs and finally have multinationals coming out of this country. It's an interactive conversation, so please use the hashtag Citi Business Festival for us to hear from you. Our WhatsApp line is 0550-585832. An entire business festival is sponsored by Absa Bank Ghana. Okay, we know that you're busy, you're always on the go, but that shouldn't get in the way of you being able to transfer money from one place to the other or buy that nice gift that you've been wanting to get me for a long time. Just go to Absa's digital channels, click on that button, and you can shop online and also transfer money. The website is www.absa.com.gh. That's Africanacity, that's Absa. It's also supported by IT Consortium. For all you e-commerces out there, the Delcy shops that are out there, you don't want customers to just engage your storefront. You want them to pay for it. So IT Consortium is a local-based business that takes care of all of that. And of course, it's also sponsored by GIPC. So Amazing Grace, I'm going to Amazing Grace now. Enim Iyaboa, she's the head of business banking at Absa Bank Ghana. And she's going to really help us think through how to benefit from some of the services that the financial institutions have for us. Good morning again.
Good morning, Chifa.
So Amazing Grace, what do you make of Made in Ghana goods and our ability to even access funds from some of the institutions like Absa Bank Ghana?
Thank you very much for that question. And like I said at the beginning, we have a huge opportunity to change the narrative, by supporting and driving Made in Ghana goods. And I like what Honorable Ahunkalinti said. He said we vote with our hands, with our feet, and with our money. Yeah. If we choose to buy Made in Ghana goods, it will drive the demand, it will drive the opportunity for the growth. Now, coming to the financial services sector, there are a number of solutions that are available to support local SMEs grow in this space. So I'll start, for example, with once you've done a production, let it be a small production. How do you get paid for it? We've got capabilities and channels that allow you to receive your money safely and easily, and also allow you to actually pay your suppliers. So if you're buying from farmers or you're buying from other local manufacturers, various inputs, we've got solutions or platforms that allow you to make those payments still safely and securely. The world has changed so drastically. Looking at the world today and even a year and a half ago, so almost like a different space altogether, but that change is real and it will continue. So how are our SMEs and our local manufacturers positioned to take advantage of these opportunities? Today, there are so many options where you can be paid by, and without hassle. So, for example, you mentioned our digital channels.
Yes.
I mean, we have the coolest app in town. You can just look at your face and you're in your bank account. You can make payments through that. You can receive payments through there. Yes, you can use mobile money. You can even move mobile money to your bank account or to other bank accounts. We have now what GIPS has launched, the GHQR code, which comes even at no charge. And you can just scan and make a payment. It's safe, it's secure. You can make bulk payments online. You can pay your employees, you can pay your suppliers, you can receive your money from your customers even before you do your supplies, so that your money is not lost. So all that capability is available. I know you are itching to hear about the funding part, so I will come to it. But your core business is to sell your product and get paid, right? So I needed to share that with you.
But even on that note, because a lot of us take it for granted, especially people who produce things. We focus so much on production that you go onto social media, the person says, Chopbox Express, I want something, and then the other, not you obviously, the other companies will like, meet me in my inbox. They make the whole process of paying so tedious that the customer actually does not pay, and then you end up not being able to retain that customer. So as entrepreneurs, how important is it for us to start thinking about payment from the very early stages?
It is so important, because you have to collect your money. Otherwise, what's the point of what you're doing, right? And you've got to make it easy for your customer to be able to pay you. And that's why we provide these solutions, and it's a range of them, all the way to the star whatever hash. All those are, capabilities that are available for you to receive your money. And as an entrepreneur, it is so important that you bed that down. Not only about receiving your money, but even getting to know who your customers are for repeat business. Because that's where the sustainability of your growth is. And we want to support sustainable growth in MSMEs, not a flash in the pan. Today you are there, 6 months later we're looking for you and we can't find you. No, you want sustainable growth. To have sustainable growth, you need repeat customers. Repeat customers who actually increase the volume, who will also recommend your product, whether on social media or to their networks or to their families. One of the things we do at ABSA is actually create opportunities for networking amongst our customers, so that you can supply other clients. But once you are able to collect your money, that's where you begin to build your track record. You want to access funding, but how are you building that track record? Building that track record, first of all, it needs you showing that you have a concept that works, a product that gets bought, and you get paid for it. So over time, you have a decent track record that you can have a conversation with your financial partner about. Okay, so, in some of the cases, you need an intermediary support, for example. So you've sold maybe to a corporate, and corporates unfortunately have a number of days before they pay you, but in the meantime you need to be able to continue to produce. We have what we call the enterprise supply chain development solution that allows us to fund you on every invoice you have raised.
Wait, so what you're saying is, because a lot of your firms have this challenge of they supply to a specific distributor.
Yeah.
They have the invoice.
Right.
It's taking months to get the money, and that's the same money they need to start producing again.
Precisely.
You actually have a solution for this?
We do have a solution for that, and it's a beautiful solution that works. It's called the Enterprise Supply Chain Development Solution. What it does is that for SMEs who are producing or providing services or products to larger corporates, once you invoice, we can actually provide you with the funding so you can continue to operate until you receive payments for your products. So that is a beautiful solution we have to support SMEs. Beyond that as well, as you go into manufacturing and you want to scale up, we have what we call our asset financing solutions that we use to support you to procure equipment and machinery, including tractors, for example, if you're into farming. So it gives you the ability to continue to increase your scale of production without, putting your working capital into that equipment and getting it locked up. So you can continue to produce because we've supported you with funding for that equipment. Apart from that as well, we know the reality is that not every SME is very well organized or structured. I mean, it's not a secret. Sometimes we mix personal
monies. We're all guilty of it.
And the beauty is that even for that as well, we have what we call the unsecured solution. So we have a solution for SMEs, or a product where you can access up to 500,000 Ghana cedis without collateral.
Wow.
From us at ABSA Bank, Ghana. And we've supported over 500 MSMEs with this solution, and we are still counting. There's a lot more we can do, and we're looking forward to collaborating with SMEs to do more. Now, one of the things that we are doing very intentionally as well is capacity building, because we know that the main theme is access to funding. But we've also found, as the non-performing loans ratio in the industry tells us, that there's a capacity challenge. As in, when you've gotten access to the funding, how accountable are you such that, one, you are investing the funds into the production or into the business and yielding the return so you can actually repay your loans. So we are providing capacity building solutions that can actually help you put the right structures in place, build the right discipline and rigor into your business. Remember, the key word is sustainability. The business has to become transgenerational. It has to also become multinational. With the AFTCA coming up, there's such a huge market opportunity, and scale is needed. But you need that discipline and that sustainable approach to be able to take advantage of those. I'll talk a little bit more about the capacity building shortly. But also we have a solution for women entrepreneurs.
Nice.
It's called Emerge.
I see Mama too smiling right now.
And it addresses the totality of the woman entrepreneur. So financial solutions, funding needs, but also the person of the woman across the age range. So from boot camps for your kids, so they're not in your hair when they're on holidays, through to health, through to networking, a whole lot of other things, including business trips when COVID goes away, God willing. But we've got that as well. We've also collaborated with the MasterCard Foundation under the Young Africa Works initiative to provide capacity building and funding to 5,000 SMEs over the next 5 years. And to do this, collaboration is the name of the game. So we are actually working with business development services organizations, which are also MSMEs, by the way. So they're also getting business, right? To actually train these SMEs in tranches over the period. And they go through a behavioral training, which is the first level, and then subsequently diagnostics of their business with people who are specialists in those industries across a wide range of industries. And all this is to help them put in place the right structures, the right governance, the right procedures, the right controls, so that as they grow and they obtain funding, they're able to scale up and even scale up more and compete with big international companies. That's my dream, to see local SMEs compete with the big international companies.
Amazing, Grace. I think our viewers are blown away. So you're saying even from the micro stage, you can help us with some of the challenges we have as far as cleaning up our books, whatever help that we need. Once we're growing and we need to bring in equipment, we can come back to you to help us.
Absolutely.
Then when we need proper money to scale,
yes,
ABSA can also help us.
Yes, a very big yes.
I'm sure they'll have questions for you. Are there any more things that you want to walk us through?
So those are the ones I want to talk about.
Yes, because I think you've given us more than enough. It's loaded at every stage of our business. ABSA is there to help us. But Lloyd is on the line. He's on Zoom. He's a GM of Niche Cocoa. And the reason we've brought Niche Cocoa in is because they are one of the businesses that have been able to figure out how to add value, okay? And we need to hear their story. We need to learn from the experiences, figure out how we can apply some of these to our own businesses so we can get to the point where Niche Cocoa has gotten to. So Lloyd, thank you so much for staying patient with us. Tell us a bit about the Niche story and how business is going for you, the other markets that you've expanded to aside Ghana.
Thank you very much. So, as I stated earlier on, so Niche is the process of the cocoa and the growth to import and finished product. The cocoa liquor, the cocoa paste, the cocoa powder, the cocoa cake, and the cocoa butter. So this started 14 years ago with a capacity of about 80,000 metric tons. So it's 30,000 metric tons. And what markets do a lot of cocoa variants. The current was producing chocolate, and I know most people find it in the shop shops and other retail outlets where we find our chocolate in different flavors as well. If you're interested in listening to the other panelists concerning upscaling businesses and some of the challenges, and I can tell you that yes, we have upscaled so this current capacity by having been an easy feat. And one key thing that has been a challenge, that when you are producing stuff, national markets, people are very prejudiced about products coming from Africa or from Ghana once you are supplying on the international market. For us, I would say that we producing cocoa, and Ghana's cocoa enjoys a premium. So once you're going on to this international market, people are looking out for quality. And from the onset, we made sure that we were producing cocoa variants of the highest quality on the international market. Now, consistency of also supplying this market is something that is also very key in aiding us and growing our business to its current scale. So we are working to make sure that whatever consumers, and when I say consumers, I'm talking about people in international markets and our local purchasers as well, is that you are making sure that things that people are seeking are available. And one thing I wanted to add, when we were talking about the great availability on the shelves, somebody has his own money and wants to buy a product, we can't. We can work at, and we have worked and that is successful for us, is that the first thing the person will look out for is the packaging. Then he goes onto the shelf and he's seeing a category product, he's seeing a niche product. The packaging shouldn't even tell the person that this is a low cost. One person is able to move away from, okay, I want this product, it looks young. The next thing is also about the taste, the punch of the product. You've moved away from getting the person's attention to picking the product from the shelf to now the consistency, the taste. Okay. That has become the two we use because you doesn't meet the criteria. You've lost that consumer. So there are various aspects to it that with time we can delve more. But it hasn't been as, should I say, it hasn't been an easy road. I mean, we face the same challenges that every local entrepreneur faces. But I would say that with a good workforce and consistency, consistency is key when you are battling in this space. With consistency, it has grown to be a leader, or let me say a force when it comes to our part of Bush, the cocoa or the agro sector. And the sport of the year for 2 years consecutively, I think that it's an achievable feat that we are proud of.
So, Lloyd, the world is used to cocoa coming out of Ghana. They're not so used to chocolates and cocoa derivatives coming out of Ghana. How competitive are our brands on the global market compared to what other people are doing? Because they are giants in the space that you're in. How have you been able to differentiate yourself from them?
Not just they are giants. One key thing about Ghana is that Ghana produces the best cocoa. Now, as much we are the best of Ghana because everything we produce is 100% Ghana cocoa. Now, for most of the giants, what they are doing is that, yes, they'll buy Ghana cocoa, but they'll blend it with other beans from other parts of the world. So, competitive advantage by producing 100% Ghana cocoa. So, you have to take what is yours, you have to make good use of your advantage to overcome some of the other challenges that you will face along the line. So, we are competing, yes, because yes, Cadbury is a big shot, but what is Cadbury producing that niche can't produce? The same quality of chocolate, just like Cadbury. But we are producing with the best cocoa that you can find on the market, which is the Ghanaian cocoa. So we are looking at our advantage and grabbing it by the horn and moving all out with it.
Thank you very much, Lloyd. So I'm coming to Ramatu Saijima now in studio, CEO of Chopbox Express.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about Chopbox Express, the problem that you noticed that you've been solving for over a year now, and the bottlenecks that you faced.
Okay. Thanks very much for the opportunity. It feels so good to be here, like I started. So our main drive is to reduce the long cooking period time that most working mothers go through. So, there are reports that there are women trying to look for jobs or to work to earn a living. Now, in this regard, they have less time to prepare, the nutritious food they really would want to offer family within a short time. I have been in that position before, and so I ask myself, how can I help women to prepare the good, nutritious food they would want to have, locally made, nutritious within a short time? Then they will be able to have all the time in the world to, focus on their aspirations as career women or even those working in the informal sector. So basically, that is the whole drive. we offer, food products that take really short time. So our flagship product is the Hausa cocoa paste.
Nice.
Yes, so that's the product we started with. It takes 3 minutes to get your Hausa cocoa prepared, ready. You don't even need to put it on fire. And it's ready.
Wow.
Yes. Interestingly, we started without branding last year in March. And then it was very interesting, the responses we got from people, friends, family, others sharing. And you can imagine during the COVID period, actually that was when we launched that. We actually exited with about almost 400 active buying customers by 2020.
Wow.
And that was when we turned a year this year, the question I put out there was, what encouraged you to buy an unbranded product?
Yeah.
And the main reason was because I know the person, someone referred you, and it's a good product.
Wow.
Okay, so that encouraged us to go ahead, and then based on the feedback we also got from our clients, our cherished clients, today we have about 24 different lines.
That's impressive.
We have FDA certification with the support of GEA.
Nice.
Yeah. So I am very excited anytime
so you're
I
a
hear
beneficiary.
about. I am a big beneficiary. I have a big story to tell about the GEA based on the benefits I have gotten and I continue to get.
Wow.
Yeah, but that has been the story of Chopbox Express.
Have you faced any challenges as far as the stage that you are in and acquiring and retaining customers?
In terms of challenges, I have psyched up my mind that it's going to be there. What am I rather going to do to go, beyond that hurdle so I don't get stuck, because it's quite challenging to be in there. By the way, I got support from family and personal savings to establish a 4,200 liter and then about 30-tonner plant.
Wow.
For the production of just our Hausa cocoa. And it's because of the ambition I have, the dream I have. Now, I'm getting local raw materials. I mean, I don't need to import millet. So I'm using what I have in here to make the best of what I can get and give the best to my clients. So mainly the challenge we had to do with getting the biggest raw material, which was the millet, because of the rains we encountered last year in the north, because we source from Wa, and that's where you get the best millet. So when
shout outs to our people in Wa.
Yes. So when I encountered that, it actually brought a lot of cost, because then prices went up. What could I have done? At the same time, transportation, fuel prices went up. Quite a number of things changed. The dynamics in terms of costing changed a bit. So we're now compelled to go up because I can't absorb that kind of cost. Yeah, of course you can't also recoup all the costs, but you should be reasonable, especially looking at the kind of pockets you want to meet and then the support you also want to offer. But it's been great. They responded well and we continue to excel. So we are really proud of ourselves, especially looking at the number of lines we currently hold. We have prospects in exporting.
Nice.
And by the way, also in collaboration with other SMEs who, as startups who do not have the means to want to have their labels on these kind of products, because of the investment in the machinery, we have the capacity to actually produce for them to apply their labels once they get the right, certification to put on their products. So if you are going into Hausa cocoa as a startup and you don't have the means, you don't have to worry. you'll have to reach us. We are ready to actually produce for you, and because we have the capacity to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's really, really impressive. And we're going to go for a break, but I'll come back to Amazing Grace on the importance of collaboration, right?
Yeah.
So we don't all have to invest in machinery. Some of us can specialize in white labels where you are wholesaling to other people who would want to retail the brands that you're producing. We know that there's a lot of entrepreneurs joining us today, and it is our last week, so we have a big, big surprise for you at the end. But keep sending your messages, okay? The hashtag is Citi Business Festival. The WhatsApp line is 0550 585832. If you are on Zoom and you want to ask a question, just click on that icon and then I will allow you to ask your questions to all of us. This entire festival has been sponsored by Absa Bank Ghana, okay? And as Amazing Grace said earlier, if you're a business, you want to engage Absa from the very beginning. Their digital channels are there for you. You have to be able to receive money. You have to buy your inputs, everything that you need to do. You just click your phone and you are done with that. That's Absa's digital channels for you. And their website is www.absa.com.gh. That's Africanacity, and that's Absa. And it's sponsored, of course, it's sponsored by IT Consortium as well as GIPC. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
And this is how it connects us.
私たちをつなぐ
We believe in helping people find a way to get things done. We call this Africanacity.
Good Day Energy Drink keeps you going. Available in major supermarkets and shops near you. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to your health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. It's the Citi Business Festival. It's our last week and we are promoting made in Ghana products to spur inclusive economic growth. We want to hear from you as you're listening, so please use the hashtag Citi Business Festival to join the conversation. Our WhatsApp line is 0550 585832. If you are on Zoom, just click on this icon and I'll call your name so that you can contribute to the conversation. I'll read some of the messages that you've sent in so far. I have a lot of them here, so let me see. Hello, I am representing Unique Aromas as a Ghanaian cosmetic brand, okay? If you're an entrepreneur, please don't feel shy. Shout out your business. So guys, check out Unique Cosmetic Brand. He say, may I please receive your Zoom? Okay, so we've sent you the Zoom link. Good day, my name is Yulani. I am a media buying expert at T-Ads Agency. We are a game-changing ads company that will help you sell ads on your website. We are highly interested to cooperate with you, that's our viewers. With us, your earnings from your digital web source will be bigger than simply using Google services. I'm sure that you're already interested to discuss with me for more of our work, waiting on your reply. So this is media buying expert. Okay, it's called T Ads Agency. For all of you who are looking for Google AdWords, they are an alternative to that. So you want to check them out because you want your products to show up when someone searches for, let's say, House of Cocoa, for instance, Chopbox Express to show up online. So that's what they do. Good morning, Jifa, for the best program. I have a new company that is into petroleum and haulage contracts. How can they help me get trucks and machines to handle that contract? This is from Joseph from New Estate. So Amazing Grace is there to help you with your equipment. So just contact Absa Bank Ghana and they'll be able to assist you to get the equipment that you need. I don't have the money to put up a business plan document, but have master plans to do the work. Okay, you didn't put your name here. Good morning, Jifa. The government and ministry is not supporting Ghana-made products, but it's not okay. Okay, that's fine. Hi, Jifa. I'm honored to join you guys, but policies and initiatives laid down to consume our products is not the government's responsibility to make, but the producer and farmers are meant to compete with each other and with foreign businesses and foreign companies. Competition is part of it all. This is coming from Lord of Faye Thompson, an agribusiness student. Sending that message in. Good morning, Jifa. Can't the Creative Arts Ministry partner Ghana celebrities to specifically endorse Made in Ghana products? Okay, that's an alternative as well. Good morning, Jifa. I run an event organization business that was doing well on projection of Made in Ghana stuff, i.e. fashion and food. However, I lost everything to COVID-19. Fast forward, I took part in GEA NBSSI ICE program in Burukum in the Bono region, and over some months now, the officials have not said anything concerning the way forward. I want to ask Madam Kosi Yankee, does the GEO NBSSI program include funding for MSMEs? They actually have a lot of support for you, so I would recommend that you follow up with them. Right? If you go on their website and you don't find them, call them. If there's a way you can access their office as well, try and access it because they have a lot of solutions for you. So it's just a matter of getting access to one person to listen to you, and I'm sure they'll find a solution for you. Good morning, Jifa. In this day and age of digital and online sales, the best way to help small businesses is to alleviate the astronomical cost of shipping locally and globally by providing more options and incentives for shipping Made in Ghana products, and also opening up continental and global markets for small businesses through advocacy and policy, along with withholding our telecoms to reliable, affordable, and quality services, and open up to sector more competition because so much productivity is lost because of our telecoms unreliability and unaccountability to customers. Which telco pissed you off this morning? Due to lack of regulation and recourse for customers, and we are not getting what we paid for. So the two things that we need to make a priority are, of course, our telcos and our ability to ship Made in Ghana products abroad. You didn't put your name here. So I'll keep those messages coming. But Amazing Grace, wrap up for us the way forward on intentionally promoting Made in Ghana goods till we get to a point of inclusive economic growth that's driven by local businesses.
Thank you, Jifa. And let me just emphasize once again two things that are critical for the success of Made in Ghana goods and the growth of local businesses. And one of them is consistency or standardization. So if your product tastes like this, and this is the taste that you're selling to the market, it should be consistent. And I'll use the example of shea butter. Mm-hmm. You can't have shea butter smelling today like this and then tomorrow. It smells different, but it's the same, supposed to be the same flavor, the same brand. And for a lot of the cottage industries or the really smaller MSMEs, that's one of the challenges they face. The larger ones have managed, to invest in standardization in a way that helps them have consistency of product. Mm-hmm. But we're talking through the range, right? So those coming up the curve as well need to be intentional about investing in that. It goes to speak to quality as well of product, because if I know that this is the quality I'm getting, I will always come and buy. For Ghanaians to vote with their hands and feet and their money, they need to be sure that they're getting their money's worth. And especially in a market where there's so much choice, it's even more important that we get that right. Mm-hmm. So that's one of them. The second one is reliability of supply. That when I need it, I will get it. Not that when I need it, oh, my supplier didn't come today, so I couldn't get. Those kinds of things need to change. So it means also that you need to invest in your supply chains, make sure you have the right suppliers who can always, and you also have a backup plan. You know, big companies have what we call the business continuity management plans. Small companies need to also begin to look at that. So if you have one supplier who's very reliable all the time, you need to have a plan B or plan C. In the unlikely event that plan A fails, you have supply from other sources that can continue to feed your machinery, to feed your factory, and ensure that you are able to deliver for your customers. Lastly, please formalize your business, because we will always come back to the funding conversation, and that's why we are here as banks, because we are here to support you to scale. As you grow, it gets to a certain point where to get to another level of growth, you need additional funding. It may start small, but as you go further, you may even need a bigger amount of funding. Once you formalize your operations, you're doing less cash transactions and making sure that you're routing your business through the bank. We're able to support you very intentionally, you know. And I talked about that 500,000 without collateral. It's even without financials. Wow. You don't need to even go and pay anybody to go and create financials for you. You know, we can support you in that regard, but you've got to make sure that you're routing your flows through your bank so that we can use that to give you the support that you need. In a nutshell, the opportunity is there. When you look at the food sector, arts and culture, I'm very happy about the guy who talked about, you know, the entertainment industry, because there's a huge opportunity there. Even fashion, you know, Ghana fashion is big in Ghana and outside Ghana. There's a huge opportunity there to grow that. And of course, beverage. And beverage, from the fruit juices, I don't drink alcohol, but even the adunkus and things, they have markets. You know, so there's so much opportunity for us. And AFCA is here. You understand? The African Continental Free Trade Area is a huge market area. Let's not sit down for our neighbors to take advantage of this opportunity. Let's be up and doing. Let's build the discipline. Let's build the rigor into our businesses so that we can actually play an active and influential role in this market. This morning I was just reading an article where the director of the AFCA even was saying that they're going to be creating a common marketplace. You know, but the opportunity is there. We've got to take advantage of it. It will not fall in our laps. We've got to build a certain discipline that will help us participate actively in the opportunity that is here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amazing Grace. And Lloyd, you are still with us. A lot of our local businesses that have joined us today are at the stage that niche cocoa was perhaps a few years ago. And the problem with Ghanaian businesses is a lot of us tend to stay at the micro size, stay at a small scale. We are not able to get to the medium to large scale. What are some of the practical steps that you guys took that helped you get the brand to where it is? And how can we all learn from that so that 10, 15 years from now, we have big, big brands like yourself coming out of Ghana?
Thank you very much once again. Okay, so what is the goal of the business from a lot of businesses do not even have a plan from the onset. Those businesses tend to fill a space because they realize there is demand for moringa seeds. So they quickly jump into the space to produce moringa seeds, for example. I mentioned earlier about the sugarcane industry. Now you want more raw material to grow with the business, and you are caught. You didn't consider what's going to happen when you upscale the business. It's very, very important. Business. What is the 5-year plan? Where do I want to get to next couple of years? How big do I want the business to grow? And once you start, don't expect it to be that easy. You know, most people, when we talk about businesses, we often talk about the good sides or the happy moments. It goes through its up and down. a strategy. Whatever the challenges come, you know how to overcome it. My dear sister was talking about shortfall in raw materials in the north. Yes, she may want to expand the business. The next question is, what is the supply from the north is cut short? I mean, anything can happen. What do I do? Then you need to start looking for other places where you can get such raw materials. Because in an event that you may have a very nice business plan, you may have a very nice business going, but when there's a shortfall of raw material, this whole dream can get die. And cover this as an example, whereby big industries were not getting supplies from China. And what happened? They came on their knees. Now, people are sourcing raw materials from other parts of the world, just in case it happens again. And it's one thing that I want our local business to look at. Not when you have an interaction with other business owners, you tend to realize that most businesses can't start the shops that come with owning a business. We need to have such things in place, because once you start upscaling, understand that every issue that you are having when you are a small business is going to aggravate, it's going to grow bigger. So what happens? Because once you are going bigger, financing. I mean, we have ABSA. Realize that you need more cash flow coming in. You need some of these incentives around low interest rate, because doing business is difficult in our part of the world because you're already starting from a high interest rate compared to your competitors who have access to cheap financing. So those are some of the things that with ABSA and other people in the financial sector should do to help growing businesses, because truth be told, there are a lot of brilliant ideas, but when it comes to putting ideas on the ground, you realize that you are already battling with a trillion times. Other real challenges. We are lucky in the cocoa sector whereby there's guarantee of raw material, but it's not the same when it comes to some of the things that I would say a lot of businesses should look out for, because businesses are not growing not because they want to grow, but there are a lot of challenges that they just can't overcome. Some of them really also need government intervention in terms of policy to give them the needed space to work and work safely. Because if you're investments from our institution, if they are tax incentives, so you are getting free taxes and somebody imported the same products that you are producing in Ghana, there's a higher import tax on such product. Yeah, it gives you an advantage to sell your product cheaper compared to such imported stuff. So I was sincere. It's a lot, and time won't permit us to delve deeply into a lot of them. But I would say that these are some of the few areas that business owners or entrepreneurs should have ready answers for before they delve into their business. Because if you don't have answers for it, and then you get to the stage where you want to upscale, you realize that you are better. You are only functional when you are a small business. But once you want to upscale, you're not functional because raw materials are available, and you have to shut down because once you've got an equipment that can run on a larger scale, and raw materials. You have interest to pay on investments. It's a recruitment tax. So if I think these are some of the things that new businesses or entrepreneurs or small businesses we should look out for before we delve into their business.
Thank you very much, Lloyd, for that submission. And now it's my favorite part of the entire forum. We're going to throw it to our Zoom audience. We're going to throw it to you at home to promote whatever made in Ghana business that you have, okay? Because we all need to know about the quality brands that are out there, so that when we go out to buy with our money and our feet, we will choose made in Ghana products over whatever product that are out there. So if you're on Zoom, get ready. We're going to put you on the spot to promote your business. But we have some products here. Over the past 2 weeks, a lot of impressive businesses have been bringing us the products that they make here in Ghana. So we want you at home to be aware of them so that when you go out to shop, you look out for this, okay? So I'm going to just randomly pick one here. This is a multi-purpose bleach, and this is Touch Zone. So it's a local brand, Touch Zone. There's another one here. It's also from Touch Zone. This is a floor cleaner, and it smells so good. And my favorite is the fabric softness. I know a lot of you don't know that we have fabric softness in Ghana, but Touch actually makes this in Ghana, so you can check them out. I'm sure they have a social media page as well. Now we're going to move to food, okay? Food is my favorite. We have Keki's Peanuts. So it's peanut butter that's coated with flour, a bit of sugar, and eggs. So if you're home and you're bored on a Friday night and you just want to Netflix and chill, this is definitely it for you. And this one, my floor manager David thought it was Abenquine because we're used to seeing Abe in this. But it's actually shito. Can you believe it? It's already pre-prepared. Everything is ready for you. It's best eaten with keke and gari. It has the ingredients here for you. And it's called Mildy's Special Shito. Okay, Mildy's Special Shito. It's already ready. So you just open it and you pour it out and then you're good to go. I mean, if we talk about packaging, it doesn't get any better than this. Let's move on to more food. Chop boxes here. They already mentioned it. This one is coming from Chop Box Express. They have Hausa cocoa. They have, this is your tugbre. A lot of things. And the beautiful thing about Chop Box is that if you're looking to get into the food processing space, they can actually do white labels for you so that you can actually put your own brand on it as well. We also have Picasso from Chop Box. So there you have it. Beautiful, beautiful packaging. Yeah. The CEO is smiling, looking at her products right now. And let's see. Zoom guests, be ready because we're going to put you all on the spot, okay? This is Asali Cocoa Mix, okay? It's beautiful. Check them out on social media. And then special dried nails. This is coming from Maurice, okay? This is coming from Maurice. You want to check them out on social media. I love snails, so this is perfect. We have more of the Hausa Cocoa Mix. This is coming from Asali. And then there's Inkulenu chopped contumely that's dehydrated. Oh. Amazing Grace is like, I'm going home with this. Amazing Grace has already done dips on this one. Let's see. Oh, when we talk about, body wear, this is beautiful. This is actually soap for you. So this is coming from Skin Focus and Suma Coffee Scrub Goat Milk Soap. My skin is already like, I'm ready to take a shower. And then, let me see what more we have here. Fiber. This is Mpampa. This is coming from Mpampa, so you want to check it out. I'm tempted to think this is actually tiger nuts, so it's good for you. You need all your fiber. And then we have beautiful toothpicks here. We're always saying, we can't even produce toothpicks in Ghana. Okay. Now somebody's solving that problem for us, and it's called Silver Picks Ghana Limited. It's flavored as well, so if you're into like mint flavors and other flavors, as you're taking that meat out of your tooth, you can actually, enjoy some toothpicks that are made in Ghana. And then we have honey here. Ooh. Raw honey wild blossom. Can you check out that packaging? It's beautiful. And then it's on top of hibiscus tea. All of you who were, pumping in Sobolo last year because it was COVID, now you can enjoy your Sobolo from the convenience of your home. Just pop one in hot water and call it a day. And then my personal favorite that I eat every single day is the share bars. Okay, they have so many different options for you. The nosh is peanut butter and sea salt. This is all made in Ghana, and this one is a tiger nut. They also have the baobab ready for you. They have the moringa. They have so many different options, and it's healthy for you, especially those of you who are on a diet and just want to eat something healthy. Check out Share by Nature's Treasures Food. So Zoom audience, we're ready for you. Just click on that icon and let us know the business that you do and your social media handle so we can follow you. Let's start with Enam Cosmetics.
Hi, my name is Essie. I'm the founder of Enon Cosmetics. Enon Cosmetics is a Ghanaian skincare and hair care products brand. We use a lot of our local Ghanaian raw materials. The products are all formulated by me. I'm a cosmetic scientist. Our products are very effective and safe and manufactured to world-class standards. We are FDA registered. Our main goal is to provide Ghanaians with products that give you a clear skin, free from any blemishes, acne, and the rest, and also products for hair that give you very healthy hair and helps you to also grow your hair.
Thank you, Enam. So we'll be checking out Enam on social media. And I'll have you join me on Breakfast Daily one of these days. So I think you're just super cool and you have an awesome story to share. So get ready. My producers will be in touch with you. Kweku's next. Kweku, tell us about your business.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Kweku Smith, and the name of my business is Jimmy Cosmetics. And we produce, we are actually the first manufacturers of deodorant, natural deodorant.
Wow.
We produce natural deodorant made using 100% pure essential oils.
Ooh.
And other great ingredients. And we are based in Accra, and you can find us on social media at Jimmy Cosmetics.
Thank you.
Okay.
So it's Gmate Cosmetics. We're looking at it right there. So we'll follow you on social media. Oops. Let me go to Christabel Ofori now.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, this is Christabel.
Hi, Christabel. Please tell us about your business.
Okay, so my brand's name is Flow Care Beauty. And we make skin and hair care products from 100% natural ingredients only.
Nice.
And about 90% of these ingredients are sourced from Ghana.
Wow.
So we use our shea butters, black soap, oils, and herbs. And we specially formulate our products with babies and their moms in mind. Everybody else can use them, but we've thought of the babies and their mothers, especially for dry and sensitive skin. We are on social media at Flow Care Beauty. And my phone number is 0243-650-790. And about 70% of our products are FDA registered with support of GEA, and we are working on certifying the rest.
Perfect. Thank you, Christabel, and a big hi to the little one that's next to you as well. Now let's do GL Technology. Yes. GL Technology, tell us what you do briefly.
Yes, hello, good afternoon, and thanks for the opportunity. GL Technology is a Ghanaian company specialized in production of manufacturing LED bollard lights and garden lights for homes industry and then commercial industries. This is manufactured in Ghana. We bring in the LED lights, LED beads, and then we assemble them. We do the electronic design, the casing, the manufacturing, everything, and then we do the testing.
Thank you very much. And to my favorite rice brand in all of Ghana, this is the only rice brand I eat, by the way. So if you're home and you're consuming any other rice, I don't know what you're doing. Nana's Rice, go.
Hi, my name is Nadu, the Communications Executive at Agrokins, producers of Nana's Rice. So we grow local rice, and that's what we branded as Nana's Rice. And we have two different varieties, that's the short grain and the long grain, which affords you the opportunity to make different rice meals. So the short grain is for wache, omutio, and those local food. And then for the long grain, you can use that for Ghana jollof, fried rice, etc. So AgroKings doesn't just focus on farming. We are involved across the value chain. So not just farming, we process and add value to our products. There are other products we make. However, Nanes Rice is our flagship product. And then we also create gainful employment in doing all this. And so we create employment for farmers, drivers, and salespersons. And for your information, we are the only company that gives about 10% to our retail sellers to make money off our products.
Perfect.
So
I'm a big fan of your rice. We're all going to eat Nana's rice moving forward. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This is the Citi Business Festival. A big thank you to Amazing Grace. A big thank you to Ramatu. A big thank you to Honorable Kalensi. Everybody, Kosi Yankee, as well as Lloyd, who has been with us. It's been my absolute pleasure hosting this. My name is Jifa Ekia Ametam. On behalf of Paco, David, Apioko, Olele, Nicholas, everybody, we thank you for joining us. Keep watching Citi TV. Bye.